Good catch by me. So here I am, sat in the changing room, again, at Royal Wootton Bassett Rugby Club. So my guest today has 18 years here through all age groups with the club. He's made over 100 appearances here with Royal Wootton Bassett Rugby Club. He's the man of many spreadsheets. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Tom Fieldsend. Tom, think fast! Oh, he's good. He's good.
Just about got it.
Just about got it. Again, thank you, Tom. Thank you for your time. And I know you've rushed home somewhere to actually do this with me, haven't you?
little bit of a way, but it's worth it. Always worth it.
Good. Where were you?
Winchester, living at the moment. Yeah.
So you've left a big grand party to come sit here and
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Get away from any excuse to get away from the Christmas party.
Oh no, I do apologise. But again, I think this is, you're definitely somebody that the viewer wants to hear. Your story here at the rugby club. So for me, mate, I'm grateful that you've been able to find the time. Good. So as I said in the introduction, Tom, you're another player who's come up through the age groups. So just give me a little bit of a backstory there then, Tom, if you may.
Yeah, so I think my parents were always quite keen for me to play rugby. I was always very keen, sort of very young, to play rugby. I think it was sort of around that 2003 England side, sort of Six Nations World Cup. That was the buzz. I remember Josh Lucy being my favourite player. So I ended up supporting Wasps and always wanted to be a fullback when I was sort of 7, 8, 9. So came along to Barry and Sonia's under-6s back in the day.
Wow.
Back at Stoneover Lane, yeah. Those were great fun Sunday mornings, with those two. And then all the way up through the age groups. I quite enjoyed the days when it was just touch. I try and keep it that way even now, I think. And then obviously through contact up through the juniors into full pitch and stuff like that. And then into the Colts, and then finally up into the seniors. So yeah, it's been a long journey, but it's been a great journey. Enjoyed every year of it. Wow,
fantastic! It's just great. Again, the dedication that you guys show to kind of show that willingness from a young age, and here you are now in the senior team. So it's fantastic testament to you, and obviously how hard you've worked to get here. Yeah,
and I think many coaches over the year through the different age groups of the club as well have all kind of left their mark on us as players. I'm sure other people who've been through all those age groups probably feel the same. Every coach just had a slightly different style, which when you put it all together, comes together to make a well-rounded rugby player.
What do you think your strengths are then as a rugby player, Tom?
Oh, well, clearly ball carrying, physical presence. I think after really wasted not playing in the second row. I think probably kicking game is probably one of my strengths, and then just sort of probably more as playing half back. It's more sort of organising where we want to play on the pitch, where we want people to be. So my job's probably less of a sort of physical, getting over the game line job, and more of a who have we got near me that I can get over the game line, and making sure the right people have the ball in their hands at the right time, and making sure we're on the right area of the pitch to play how we want to play.
Good. Do those reflections speak a lot of how you've been playing this season, do you think, Tom?
I think so. I think the games we've won and the games where we've sort of come very close against some of the sort of top sides have been games where we've played in the right area of the pitch. And then when we have been in the right area of the pitch, we've been able to play. And we haven't sort of put pressure on ourselves near our own line and made mistakes and things like that. So I think, when we've been playing how we want to play and we've played well, I think it's been good. It's just, a couple of times where we've been really, really close to getting across that line, whether it's, last-minute penalty off the post at Exmouth or a last-minute try here and there. It's just, hopefully second half of the season we can turn those 1-2 point losses into 1-2 point wins.
Good. It was the same with Gavin when I had the interview with Gavin, and it's these little differences you guys are noticing now to take into the second half of the...
And it's experience as well. I think, you learn far more about yourselves when you lose than you do when you win. And, you don't necessarily learn that much when you're getting absolutely hammered, which I think we've done well this season, that we haven't really been blown away, which I think is a really good kind of tick on the box for first coming up. But I think those narrow margins where you're losing by 1-2 points, or it's just one mistake, those are the games where you learn the most. Because then when you're there again, if you're 1 point up on your own line for 5 minutes to go, you know what you did wrong last time. Actually we want to be out of here. We don't want to be giving away 3 points in this situation. So that's where we learn, and hopefully second half of the season we can put that right.
Good. So what about you personally then, Tom? What have you learned? Again, what's your key learning about your own game this season so far?
I think it's been sort of a confidence thing more than anything. You know, it's easy coming up a league to get a bit overwhelmed and sort of think, oh, it's another level now. I've got to put more pressure on myself. I've got to do more. Whereas actually, I think the games where I've played the best have just been the games where I've just done the basics well, tick the basic boxes, and then if there's any extras, you know, the little bit of marzipan at Christmas, then those come in on top of that. But it's just, you know, getting the cake, the basics right underneath is sort of step one. Doing all the bits that take no talent, you know, working harder, getting up quicker than your opposition, getting to breakdowns quicker, things like that. And then once everything sort of those basics of the game are there, then you can sort of start to add the creative bits when there's a chance.
Good. When I walked in today, Tom, and obviously I knew I was going to be sat here with you, first thing Loie said to me is, Tom's probably got a spreadsheet full of his data.
Oh, the famous spreadsheet.
Give him some statistics they might not know.
I feel like I should
Tom.
give some background on this before I'm outed as some kind of spreadsheet weirdo. So I work with spreadsheets. I've always loved spreadsheets. I am that weirdo. So yeah, I have spreadsheets for just about everything. I think my Lions selection spreadsheet got some stick over the summer. But yeah, so I like to keep a record. You know, I like to keep a record of the scores in games, not just from my own point of view. So I can see, you know, which part of the season is maybe my kicking, dipping, things like that. So there is a personal development side to it.
Good.
And there's also a bit of a nostalgia point to it. I mean, if I was to open like a spreadsheet from a few years ago, and you know, you might find some games and find a scoreline, and suddenly, you know, you remember things about the game that you would have otherwise forgotten. I know when we first came up to the league below, the run of fixtures at the start of the season where we had sort of Maidenhead, Old Pats, Old Saints, teams that had come down from the league we're in now. And a lot of the reason I can remember sort of details about those games is because, you know, we've written them down, recorded what's there. So I think a lot of it's kind of just a self-indulgence, nostalgia thing, really. And then obviously there is the kind of statistics obsession as well. I did statistics at uni, so I think it kind of shines through on that, yeah. Yeah,
I think it's important, Tom, because again, people tend to remember things when they go wrong. To have a record of when things are going right,
absolutely,
it's good for you to reflect on that and get yourself back in that confident state or whatever, so fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not taking a mick out of your spreadsheet anymore, Tom.
Don't worry.
I advise every single player to speak to Tom about having a spreadsheet. Gavin's sat at the back here. Gavin, get your spreadsheet written.
Definitely, yeah, from the nostalgia point.
Brilliant.
Yeah, no, I've had, don't worry, my parents are number one stick givers when it comes to the spreadsheet, so it's fine.
You can always count on your parents to
absolutely,
give you
yeah.
a boost.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of background on that then, Tom. I mean, you gave us a little kind of reflection on you growing up. When you see the juniors out there now, Tom, you know, what kind of things did the club offer them that maybe you didn't have when you were coming through the ranks?
So I think one of the things that goes most underappreciated about Ballard's Ash especially is just the quality of the pitch. I think back to when I was sort of 11, 12 years old, and this time of year you were lucky if you got maybe 2 or 3 training sessions in between December and February, because, you know, the old Ballard's Ash before I had a lot of work done on it, Stoneover Lane, you know, Stoneover Lane was underwater for 3 months a year. And now you come out here and it's been chucking it down a week and it's still a really good quality pitch and you can still have a really good game of rugby on it. So I think, you know, when you're at that age, it's quite easy to lose interest in things over a couple of months. So the fact that we can still have everyone training constantly throughout the year is massively underappreciated. And I think that's where the enjoyment comes from, you know, seeing your mates regularly and getting out there and playing. And that's what it comes down to, I think. It's got to be, you've got to go out there and have fun. So it's good to see that we can keep that up and keep offering that.
Good. Do you offer any support personally to the younger ones?
Yeah, so as seniors, we quite often will come down on a Sunday and sort of just pop our heads in and see whether anything can sort of just offer some advice at training, things like that. A couple of years ago, I think I went with the Colts for a game. Sort of just came on, water boy, just had a chat with people who are playing in my positions, you know, things to think about, stuff like that. And again, because I remember when I was sort of 16, 17, and you'd have, you know, people like Gav, Hoggy would, you know, pop down to training and things like that, and you learn a lot, even if they're not playing in your position. It just gives you something to sort of see as the next step on the journey. Yeah. And as long as that's still visible, you believe you can get there, and that's the most important thing, I think, as far as the journey plan's concerned.
Good. Tell me about your journey plan then, Tom.
Oh, what, a journey plan in the future? Or
you're probably on a spreadsheet somewhere if you want to pull it out, Tom. But
yeah, I think the next one is retire at 28. I think. I think just to keep, you know, I think that my goals at the moment are pretty aligned with what the team wants to do, which is get to this level, establish ourselves at this level, and not kind of be coming into each season at this level worried about staying up, but actually looking up and thinking, how high can we finish this year? And I think that kind of comes down to then the personal development goals, how fit can we be, how skill level can we be? And it's great that we've got all the video analysis, and we've got so many coaches now that, if you want to come up on a Thursday night and do 20 minutes one-on-one with a coach who has the specific knowledge on something you want to work on, you can. So I know on Thursday we did a whole kicking session, a couple of us, just where we've maybe had a couple of dodgy kicks in the last few weeks. Just think about, why have we done this? What can we do better?
Good.
Now can we execute the skill? So that kind of support has been really good this year as well. And once upon a time, if there's two coaches, that leaves one coach with everyone else.
Yeah.
Whereas this year we've got so much support, so much resource that there's much more opportunity to do that sort of thing, which is good.
Fantastic. And you had, was it last season out because of university, Tom?
So I actually played here while I was at uni. So I played for uni and played here. So
Wow.
somehow, don't know how my body managed it for 3 years, was playing 2 games a week.
Yeah.
I think being a half-back who doesn't make tackles probably helped. I'm not sure some of the forwards would have managed, but I was really lucky in the sense that I was sort of close enough that I could do that. Got loads and loads of support from the club to be able to do that, which I was really appreciating. In my first year of uni, I was sat around on a Saturday doing nothing, thinking, God, I wish I was back at Bassett playing rugby.
Wow.
So that was really lucky. A couple of the games were actually closer to uni than they were to here, so it was always nice getting out of bed at 11:30 to go to Stratford-on-Avon when everyone's been on the bus for 2 hours already.
Yeah.
So then actually at the end of uni, I shattered my collarbone in the very last sevens tournament at uni. So that kept me out for about 6 months. Then I broke it again. And then just as I was coming back from that, obviously COVID hit. So after that kind of period of uni where I was playing loads and loads, pretty much had 2 years off from the game, which I know everyone coming back from COVID was raring to play, and everyone was kind of in the same boat. But coming out of that, not just having missed a year, but almost having missed 2 years, it was kind of extra special to be back out there on the pitch and back out there enjoying it.
Good. Was there any doubt in your mind that you were going to go somewhere else other than Bassett?
So I did actually. I can hear the boos on the boo. So when I first moved to Winchester for work after uni, I did go to another club, the club who shall not be named. So that, again, didn't actually play that much because of my shoulder, but did get sort of a couple of months in the first team and a couple of games in the second team. But then obviously COVID hit and things have changed so much now in the world. Working from home, stuff like that, has just meant that getting back here 3 times a week is doable now. It wasn't. I didn't really ever want to leave. It was just not really feasible going into a new grad job after uni, working don't know how many hours a week. I just wasn't going to be able to commit to coming back here. So I think if we can take positives from the pandemic in that sense, for me, it's been that I can now come back and play with the guys I've been playing with since I was 5 years old.
Good.
And really thoroughly enjoying my rugby back here at home.
Good.
So yeah.
Brilliant. Well, again, thank you for your time, Tom, but I'm not ending it just there. So I'm going to do my best rugby tackle, and then Gavin, the captain, will decide again if I'm fit for the team. Remember, Coronation Street in EastEnders on the Tuesday.
Just running at you.
No, don't run at me full power. You'll probably knock me over. I'll run at you.
Okay.
I'll watch that collarbone there. Ready? Good? Gav?
Definitely.
Yes. Tom, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, mate. It's been a
Absolutely.
pleasure. Thank you.